Hello, hello, hello. So happy to have you with us. I would like to come on unscripted, of course. I hope you have a drink or you're eating or you have a snack or something like that. And we can just chat a little bit about um, what's happening so far. Like, literally, this has happened so quickly. I hope we are all caught up with what happened. Not last week, but just this past Thursday, because it did take on another day. I am doing it podcast style. So I will not be on screen or showing any images. So sit back and relax and we can have a discussion. So I'm so excited for Claire. Um, I'm don't have any notes. I'm just going based off of memory and watching it again. So I'm excited for Claire. If you follow my channel, you know that I've been covering her on here since Bachelor Winter Games. But obviously, we all know her from It's Okay, It's Okay, It's Okay season of The Bachelor. And it seemed like she found love prior with Benoit, and there was, other things, I guess, or other men she was linked to, but it just never stuck for her, I guess. The guys that she was into, just were not into her. And so I'm really happy that she did find someone. I'm happy that she found this, man that she literally laid eyes on one time and decided that, wow, I think I just met my husband. And if you look back at some of my other broadcasts earlier in this season, I was like, wow, even if she felt that way, it was my, point of view that perhaps maybe she should have kept that to herself. Because I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but sometimes you feel that electricity with someone, and then the next thing you know, nothing's happening. So you're like, well, was that just in my head, or am I imagining things? So sometimes I'm all for just kind of protecting that and seeing how things pan out. But she, I guess, felt that she had been dating for quite some time now, and she knew that she knew that she knew that he was the one, and she just let the producers know, and she kind of was following that same vein the whole time because she really didn't give any of the other guys a chance. And in my last video, you'll hear, or the video before that, it was the last video, how she was really sticking up for Dale, almost, I hate to say it, but almost kind of like a mom. She was like, don't talk about my kid. And I'm like, okay, I get it. It's great that she loves him and all of that, but it was getting to be a little too much. And I think the other men knew that, they realized that. And so in this last episode, we saw that they're still kind of questioning things. They're like, well, is there an opportunity for us? She didn't even give the rose out. So, and I thought that was kind of a slap in the face. She didn't give the rose out. So they were thinking, well, why can't any of us have a rose? I mean, we're here, we showed up. But again, it had nothing to do with them and everything to do with how she was feeling. And I guess she felt like he was the one. And obviously, we all know, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, we all know that, she actually did choose him in the end. So it's just one of those things where she was feeling really strongly about something, and she went with it. So I'm happy for her. Yes, I did feel that she could have just played out the whole process for a little bit and see how things, went toward the end, at least give, the other guys a chance to maybe grow on her a bit. And I mean that in the most respectful way, because sometimes things don't just happen, instantaneously. Some people get married and they hated each other when they met. So, I mean, I thought she would be a little bit more open, but so anyway, that whole episode was really accelerated. The whole process was really accelerated. Chris Harrison came in and he was like, hey, if we go on like this, it's really not really a show. These guys know. He basically said everything I said in in my past video. He's like, these guys know what's up. They know you're not really feeling them. How do you feel? And she's like, oh my gosh, I love Dale. Oh my gosh. And then, you know, she wanted to spend more time with him. So then Chris Harrison set up this date with her and Dale. She was wearing red, like she was all, you know, seductress mode, like, I'm going to tell him I love him and all this other stuff. I don't know. Does anybody have any opinions about that? Like, she was so quick to want to share with Dale how she felt. She didn't even gauge his his interest in her. I mean, obviously he's interested in her. He's on the show. He's there for her. But it is a fast moving show, but where she was compared to, I can't, you know, recall all the Bachelorettes, but it seemed like she was very more advanced in terms of how she felt and sharing that with him. Obviously, definitely the sharing that with him part more than anyone else. So that's the only thing that concerned me. I was just like, well, maybe you should want to know how he feels. But she, you know, had her, you know, game face on, so to speak, and decided to, at that dinner, tell him how she felt. They also shared some really sweet stories about how her mom and dad met and literally were married, like, or engaged to be married 3 weeks later. And it was a similar story to him. So I thought that was so sweet. I mean, sometimes love can happen really fast. People can get engaged really quickly, and they're together 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you know. So it's definitely a beautiful thing. I definitely think that can happen. And it happened for her parents. You know, yes, it was a different time, but people are still people. You know, it's just we, you know, may have to deal with more things now and that sort of thing, but love is definitely possible. Love like that can still happen. You just have to believe. So I was just really excited for her and him. I did in the beginning, to be honest, I'll just be very, you know, transparent with you all, that I was a little like, I wonder why she likes him. Like, no offense to him or anything, but I'm like, is she looking for someone she can control a bit? I mean, he is a bit younger and like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. He's, and that has, and it really has nothing, but he has it's nice though. I think it's nice because, you know, women usually live longer than men anyway. So maybe they'll go around the same time. So that just adds to that romance factor, I guess, or just the ability for them to stay on Earth, you know, around the same amount of time. All things considered go well. All other things considered going well. Anywho, so that's one thing. And then the other thing, obviously they have those similar dynamics with her mom, you know, being someone that she, you know, is getting older and dealing with some health issues. And I know that he was dealing with certain things like that in his life. So, you know, they were able to really bond over that. They both had that level of compassion and empathy with each other. So, I mean, there's just a number of things that I guess just made them match up really well with each other. But then here's the kicker. I mean, she still had to break up with 16 other guys. I mean, there were still, 16 guys there that were, you know, not going to be continuing this process with her. And some of them were, you know, taking it kind of hard because, again, like I said in the last video, they put their lives on hold. They had to go through this uncomfortable testing. They were pretty much self-isolated for many, many months, and to make sure that they were not, you know, coming down and being affected by this virus. And so it was tough for them. They really gave up a lot, some to the point of, you know, just expressing it in a very blunt way to her about how much they gave up and that sort of thing, as we saw with one of the guys last episode, Yosef. So anyway, she had to break up with them. And so that's what she did. They didn't really take it well. We'll come right back to that, but I just want to go back a bit. So at the dinner, after sharing those stories, she did tell Dale, Claire told Dale, not Dole, Dale, that she loved him. And he, at first I was like, what's going on? Because he was kind of silent. If you guys caught that, he was kind of silent for a few seconds. He was just like looking at her blankly. And I'm like, was he shocked? Was he in shock? Like, what was going on there? And then he said, oh yeah, he's like, it's definitely love. I definitely feel love. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I hope he knows what he's getting into. Obviously he knows he's on The Bachelorette, but there was just a second there that I was just like, come back to earth, Dale, come back to earth. But I think he was just taken with the moment, you know? So he expressed his feelings to her. He felt like it was definitely love. Love was happening. Love was in the air. They spent the night together. Okay, I saw a dress on the floor and his clothes. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And so we don't know what happened. Maybe they played chess. But, you know, they clearly were in bed together. They were, you know, had a good evening. And we're all smiles in the morning. So, okay. And we don't know what happened, but we, you know, there's just assumption. So she's like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. And then reality sets in. It's like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Because, you know, I still have to break up with these 16 men and you have to go take the walk of shame. Tables reversed. And, you know, I don't know, maybe he didn't have to, I don't know if those are deleted scenes. Maybe he never had to go back in the house. I think that was the best thing. If that was the case, separate them. Did you know how much drama that would have been? You know, because these guys, I mean, they feel deep and, you know, they share those feelings and with each other. And I don't know, it was just one of those things. I was like, oh my gosh, imagine if they did not, you know, if he did go back there. So anyway, we didn't see him go back. Perhaps he was sequestered someplace else. She, on the other hand, you know, spoke with Chris Harrison about it, everything that transpired. And he's like, well, you know, you got to do now, you know, he's so funny. He's like, there's going to be a proposal. She's like, oh my gosh. He's like, tonight. So he's getting on the phone with his good buddy Neil Lane to get that sparkler ready. You know, I'm sure Neil has someone in the city ready to deliver. And I mean, oh my gosh, let's talk about this ring, y'all. Let's talk about this ring. So this ring was beautiful. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, I think this is one of the biggest rings I've seen on The Bachelorette, in the Bachelorette history. I mean, it was sparkly. I mean, it was clear. It was big. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I was like, wow. I thought it was a princess cut, but I'm thinking it was more of a square. So, but nonetheless, it was gorgeous. It had some beautiful accent stones. It looked like a couple of trillion cuts on the side. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. So I was excited about this ring for her. And clearly she was taken with it as well. And we unfortunately, one of my favorite parts in this show is when he comes with a briefcase full of jewels and the guy has to make the decision. We didn't see that. We did not see that. And perhaps because everything was so, you know, the timing was just so quick. But, you know, in the end, this ring was beautiful. It did what it was supposed to do. And I love the part of her just kind of reminding Dale to stay on his knee for the proposal. Stay on your knee and put the ring on her finger and then stand up. You know, I see in movies all the time, like these guys proposing and then the girl is like in shock. And then she's like lifting him up off the floor, hugging him. And then he's standing up, putting the ring on her finger. I just think it's so much more romantic. And I think it's a bit, you know, etiquette wise as well, you know, for the guy when he's proposing to stay on one of his knees. I mean, if he's going to do it the traditional way. Okay. So that's what we saw. Claire kind of reminding him of that, saying she, you know, waited for so long for this. So please stay on your knee, put the ring on the finger there and then rise. Let's celebrate together. So I just thought it was so nice. I was so excited about it. And, I mean, that's all I have for you all right now. That's all I can recall. I'm just, you know, wow. Can't believe it happened so fast. So happy for her. And then the other thing Now we have Tayshia, and I kind of feel sorry for Tayshia a little bit. I've covered her on this channel before. You know, unfortunately, I'm kind of looking at her as the cleanup girl in all this. You know, she has to deal, it's almost like a rebound, because she has to deal with all of these guys' emotions coming from this, you know, stemming from this relationship with Claire, and them, you know, they're already imagining how things would be after. Let me just get a sip of bubbly for a second. You know, imagining how things would be after they, you know, are together. But then it's like those dreams came crashing down, and oh my goodness. So they kind of have to pick their hearts up and their mouths up off the floor and just decide to start again. And, you know, but I believe in these guys. I believe they're resilient. I believe they can do it. You know, the hope of love, the belief in love, it will make you resilient, even if you're really hurting inside. And so that's what these guys do. They decide to, you know, and I believe Riley's roommate was one that was really dealing with the emotional after effects of literally being dumped after finding out your girlfriend, the one that you're well, not exclusively dating, but mass dating, you know, has decided to be betrothed to someone else. Anyway, so so anyway, yeah, so I was thinking about that, and Tayshia coming into all this. I mean, you know, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. While I'm happy for her to be the Bachelorette, and we've never seen anything kind of similar like this, except for I forgot her name, the one who's on Dancing with the Stars right now, and the other girl. They kind of they started out together. There were two bachelorettes, and then it was voted down to one. You know, but this instance there was supposed to be one, and you know, then she left, and then there was another. So I mean, I'm just so happy though that Claire got engaged. So now let's hope good things for Tayshia. I, you know, don't know who she, I mean, she has 16 guys. This is a good group. I just still think about one of the guys who left, who was so ready for marriage, ready for family, the guy from West Virginia who Claire got rid of and chose Yosef, who, again, like I said early, if you look at my videos from the season, I called it. I said, look, why did she choose Yosef over this guy? This guy came to her. He was actually literally trying to do what a man should do. Protect. He was trying to protect her heart, trying to protect her. And she was just like, not, and he came to her. He's like, I'm looking for this, that, and the third. And she's like, okay, bye. I'll take Yosef, you know, the hothead or whatever. Anyway, he turned out to be someone that was clearly not a match. You know, maybe he's not. That was just one slice of how he is in real life. We don't know, you know, his true, authentic personality. Anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent on that. So getting back to Tayshia, I'm happy for her, but I feel like the first couple of weeks with these guys that we see are going to be hard. You know, there's going to be some things that creep up. They're going to be thinking about Claire. She's going to be listening to their, you know, their feelings and their emotions, almost like a therapist probably sometimes during their mini dates. So I'm just a little concerned for her. But, you know, I think she can do it. I think she definitely desires love. You know, this is something that Tayshia has wanted. You know, obviously, if you look back at my videos with her and JPJ, they had a thing, and it just didn't work out. But we hope the best for Tayshia. But again, in the beginning, I was just like, oh my gosh, she's going to be like the cleanup girl a little bit. I mean, I hate to say it. I don't want to say it, but I don't know. What do you guys think? You can put something in the chat. But that's just, I'm happy for her. I believe she can actually make this work together for her good. She can find love. She can, you know, find a relationship, hopefully, at least. We don't know if it's going to end an engagement. I think, and I also want to talk about, just circle back about Claire and her moving fast and getting engaged with Dale. If you look at my video about engagement limbs, and we're talking about I think the thumbnail is with the former Bachelorette. You know, she was engaged to Garrett. I don't know why her name escapes me right now, but anyway, with her, if you listen to that video, you'll see what I think about engagement lists. I think they should get married right away. I think they need to keep going full steam ahead. You know, they had a quick courtship. They're engaged. They need to keep it moving, because if they do not, we're going to see this long drawn out engagement and a breakup. I'm just putting it out there. I don't want to put it out there like if that's going to happen, but I want them to get married. And if they love each other and this is what they want to do, they need to go full steam ahead. They don't need to stop. That's just how I feel about it. If you feel different, you can let me know. But I just think that, you know, they have to match it. They have to match it. They have to keep this thing going, because if not, then, you know, it's just, I don't know if it's going to work. If they're going to draw it out, look what happened to the girls' relationship. I did an update video about that. And they broke up. I never did a video on that. I was going to, but I mean, I kind of felt like if you look at my videos, you'll see in the videos, I kind of talk about them breaking up and how they could potentially break up if they did not get engaged by a certain time. And they did, unfortunately. And I mean, obviously, I did not want that for her. I did not want that for her and Garrett, but that's exactly what happened. And so with Clare and Dale, you know, I want their best. I want them to have the best. Becca. I don't know why I forgot her name. Becca. Right. I want Dale and Clare to have the best odds for success. And so for me, that's them getting married within a year. If they're engaged longer than a year, then I mean, Houston, we have a problem, because the courtship was quick. The engagement was quick. They need to seal the deal within a year. That is how they're going to keep this thing going. She took a risk. They need, you know, marriage is a risk. Marriage is a risk. But I believe with their love, with their commitment, with their dedication, and with their passion, they can definitely, you know, keep this thing going. Maybe I'm just an optimist, idealist, whatever you want to call it, but that's what we do on this channel. So, hey, it is what it is. You can like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think. All opinions are welcome. All opinions are welcome. This just happens to be mine. And I do enjoy watching this show. I've been following it for a while and decided to start this channel to cover it, because I just have so many opinions about it. And it's just so much fun for me. So yeah, let me know what you think. And yeah, we'll be watching this evening. We'll see what happens, and we'll come back on here and we'll discuss. How does that sound? All right. Love. Mwah, mwah. And have a good evening. Like, comment, subscribe, and replay, share, and I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.